I heard a rumor that you're graduating, so on behalf of the AGA, I'm crashing the party to give you my heartfelt congratulations. It's a momentous occasion, not only because you've concluded your fellowship training and a major milestone, but you did it during a time that has changed your lives, not only for the short term, but most likely for many years to come. Telemedicine, tele-GI is going to be the norm. Fortunately, there's not going to be any teleendoscopy, at least for the foreseeable future. Some of you will be flying, driving to a new city, town, state to start your new job. Some will be staying local. Whatever the next chapter is going to be for you, it's going to be very exciting. Whether you're working in a large or a small group practice, a solo practice, an HMO, academia, pharma, or maybe doing another fellowship, be it interventional endoscopy, transplant, IBD, and so on. I remember just over 30 years ago when I was doing my GI fellowship, this was at UC San Diego, some of the attendings would say, you have it so easy. And sometimes they would even call us wimps. Then when I became an attending, every once in a while I would slip and say to the fellows, oh, back in the days, we did A, B, and C. But I have to confess to you that you have it a lot tougher than any one of us old-timers ever had. The good news is that you are learning at the same time as everyone else is, and including the old-timers. You have much better ideas, and you'll be charting a course as everyone else is doing it at the same time. Also, some of you either took care of COVID patients directly or covered. In fact, most of you may have covered on the medical service, while other hospitalists and other attendings took care of COVID patients. Regardless, you've been on the front lines, and for that, I salute you. So I'll leave you with 10 things to consider as you open this new and exciting chapter. First, don't forget to stay in touch with at least one person from your program, and hopefully more. Somebody who has been maybe a mentor to you. Those individuals will continue to be lifelong listeners, supporters to you as the need may come. Certainly for me, I always love to hear back from the fellows, find out how they're doing, what they've been up to, and so on. And if you're staying local, you can also be a resource for the current fellows and other fellows as they come along, because as they follow in your footsteps. Number two would be don't forget to be a listener. This is really important for patients, it's important for your staff, but it's also true in general, even if you don't like sometimes what you're listening to. With patients, also I suggest that you make sure, and you're probably doing it anyway, that they are listening to you and that they understand whatever it is that is really important for their health condition to do. So, for example, it never hurts to ask them. So, what are you going to remember from what we talked about? Please tell me again the important things that you're going to remember. I think this can go a long way in terms of maintaining a good relationship with the patients. They know that you're listening to them, but also you know that they are listening to you. The third would be remember that your training is lifelong. You finish your fellowship training, but given the nature of the work, don't stop asking questions, because that's really how all of us keep learning. The fourth is don't take things for granted or assume that things are going to be done simply because they're supposed to get done. I'm sure you've experienced this a lot during your training in general, whether it's residency or fellowship training. But now it's even more important because you'll be taking on even more of the responsibility. Number five is to be a team player. Your team really are going to be your nurses, your staff, your lab members, your fellows, residents, medical students, undergraduate students, your colleagues, your referral base. Your team has really grown a lot, and now you're kind of an important part of the team. Many people are going to be looking up to you for direction. So the more you make this about the team, I think the more the team and you are going to be successful in general. Number 6 is to think of threats as challenges as opportunities, and opportunities as gifts. Basically, the glass is always half full if you want it to be half full. Many times I have to remind myself about this one, but when I do remember it, I'm always thankful because at the end I say, wow, this wasn't as bad as it seemed to be. Number 7 is to be involved and also be involving. For example, now you're the one who is giving the presentations at the Journal Club. Now you can actually organize a Journal Club depending on the context you're in. Set up a community outreach, whatever it might take to really be involved and also involve others in things that not only you are passionate about, but they can also become passionate about and work with you, work together really as a team. Another number 8 would be not just to be a doer, but also to be a finisher. Whether it's finishing up the charts, following up on phone calls, maybe you had an abstract or a presentation that you gave and now could be written up as a paper, case report, whatever it might be. At least you know that you've completed whatever it is that you started, and it's something that you can always be proud of. And those little things will add up. Number 9 is don't take yourself too seriously and be humble. Dr. Paul Rubenstein, who was a gastroenterologist at the Paulton Clinic, this is when I was working at Stanford University. He was one of the people I worked with closely. He gave a fellowship sort of graduation talk, kind of much more elaborate than what I'm trying to do here. But one of the things that he said, which really stayed with me, is there's always more to learn or unlearn. That has always stuck in my mind. Last but not least is you gotta enjoy what you do and make your work environment fun. After all the training, all the years that you've done, you think you did the training, is it ever going to end? Now is really the beginning. So just make the best of it and make it as much fun as possible. I hope all of you will stay active with the AGA. There's a little commercial in here, but there's also a lot of opportunities that the AGA offers. In my current role now, in the governing board and so on, I'm seeing all the incredible things that the AGA actually does and offers to its members. I hope you'll read Gastro, at least the parts that you like. I'm a little bit biased here because I served as editor for Gastro for 5 years, and one of the things we really tried to do, and I know the journal continues to do, is to make it more approachable for fellows, in addition to the other leadership at large. So aside from the guidelines, of course, the clinical trials, important kind of impactful studies. There's other sections that we try to make for the fellows, but they really apply for kind of mentoring, training in general. And that was, for example, the Met Corner, Mentoring Education and Training Corner, Gastroenterology in Motion. Also expanded the clinical challenges and images. Maybe you can submit one of those. You can submit papers to Gastro. The worst thing that will happen is that they might be rejected, as has happened to me personally. But also Gastro has sister journals that they can direct papers to, whether it's CGH or CMGH. So my suggestion, really coming to a close, is for you to consider staying engaged with at least one organization. Hopefully that will be the AGA, and also to volunteer to be involved, whatever the organization might be. Lots of committees to be involved with. You can pick one that you like. You can reach out to your fellowship training program, suggest that the director, the division chief, and so on, or one of your attendings can nominate you for that committee. You can always self-nominate. But staying involved, staying engaged, I think that you'll find that really enriching. So I wish you every success, and I hope to see you in person during the 2021 DDW. Be safe, stay healthy, and hearty congratulations again. Take care.